All right. So for those who, I mean, you signed up for this hackathon, so you're already probably pretty familiar, but I'm going to just give a little bit of context about Hedera Hashgraph. You know, what is it, why we're excited about it, and why we're hosting the Hedera21 virtual hackathon. And Hedera is what we consider the trust layer of the internet. That can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, but different ways that we can build content authenticity, traceability, transparency into our online systems. Hedera is, you know, a next generation blockchain-like infrastructure that will be the trust layer of the internet, and we're on our way there already. And for those who don't know me, my name is Cooper. I'm a developer evangelist at Hedera. My job is really to educate and enable, you know, the people building in our community and hosting fun hackathons like this with our wonderful events team. So very excited about this. If you'd like, you can follow me on Twitter at Cooper_Kunz. Almost everything I post is about Hedera if you want. So give me a follow. It's an easy way to stay in touch. Or if you want to ask me questions about, you know, the industry or anything, send me a DM. And so from day one, almost 2 or maybe even 3 years ago, when Lehman and Mance, the founders of Hedera, had this kind of vision for what this company and what this project was going to be, from day one, our goals were always to fuel the enterprise adoption of public distributed ledgers. We do this in a variety of ways, but the kind of main pillars of what Hedera has set out to do is provide the performance, security, stability, and governance that it takes to have enterprise adoption in this kind of blockchain and decentralized world. So whether that's the performance of the Hashgraph consensus algorithm, the security and formal methods verifications we have on the actual software and code base itself, the stability of having no forks and a no fork guarantee on the platform, or our enterprise-led governance model, we really think that we are kind of pioneering different avenues in this industry. And we're very excited about not only the enterprise adoption we've gotten, but all the startups and developers and hobbyists that are out there as well. We think that we provide a unique solution in this space. And so historically or chronologically, Hedera really fits into these trends from the internet, how we went from the analog era of taking papers, and, you know, a lot of places still use paper documents, which doesn't make any sense. But we're really seeing this trend from analog to digital, from digital to internet. And now in these years, maybe one of the most important things that we can do is actually add trust and transparency to the internet and to these digital systems. Whether it's things like IP rights management or combating fake news, or just, you know, general awareness and authenticity of the information that's being put online, we really think that we are in a prime opportunity and kind of a generational shift in how we're architecting and building systems. So, you know, we're very excited to be part of this kind of trust era of applications and infrastructure. And within that kind of trust era of infrastructure and application building, there's really been kind of a couple generations of technology that have came out. You know, originally this industry was, you know, kind of founded with the invention of Bitcoin in 2009. You know, a blockchain specifically built just to manage one single token. Now that token is worth, I don't know, $700 billion or something ridiculous these days. And, you know, going through that, Ethereum really pioneered this way towards programmability and ushered in this era where anyone within, you know, just a few copy and pastings of a contract can create their own tokens. And, you know, we saw this in the 2018 ICO boom, where Ethereum's ability to create new tokens really funneled their adoption and ways that people can leverage programmability in this blockchain infrastructure. And now we're getting into, you know, different types of problems that rose from that kind of ICO and tokenization boom on Ethereum, whether it's the fact that, you know, CryptoKitties by itself can clog up the entire Ethereum network and cause fees to skyrocket to over $50 for a simple transfer, or just due to different types of security vulnerabilities in smart contracts. There has been a ridiculously large amount of funds lost due to the interest and development paradigm that Ethereum ushered in. And at Hedera, as of 2018, when we initially launched, and for those of you participating with our new token service in this hackathon, we are really excited to be kind of architected from the ground up to support web scale and enabling all of the use cases that people originally dreamed could, really be built on Ethereum before they realized kind of these fundamental limitations of cost and performance and security and all the fun things that are happening over there. And so Hedera really sees itself as the trust at web scale version of the blockchain industry, kind of the third generation. And we're really, really excited about the new token service, which is the point of the hackathon here. And I said this earlier, but if anyone has questions or comments or anything, please put them in the chat and we'll answer them as we go. But just to talk a little bit at a high level for those who aren't familiar, I'm sure most of you are, but I'll talk a little bit about Hedera and our technology and the network services. So I'm sure most people are familiar, but Hedera is actually built on the Hashgraph distributed consensus algorithm. It is not a traditional blockchain. It does not use the proof of work algorithms that are inherently slow and bad for the environment. And it doesn't actually compromise any type of centralization or efficiency to remain secure. There's really no trade-off there in that sense. Hashgraph has been formally proven to be what's called asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerant for those who are interested in either formal methods or distributed systems. It's very energy efficient. You can run it on all different types of machines. There's no leader, so there's no vulnerability to DDoS attacks or different types of civil attacks like that. You don't have to worry about a large category of the security or trade-offs that you get with traditional blockchain infrastructure by using this Hashgraph consensus algorithm, which was invented for those who might not know him, invented by our CTO, Dr. Lehman Baird. If you're interested in learning more specifically about how Hashgraph's infrastructure works or how the consensus algorithm works, highly recommend looking Lehman up on YouTube, and he has a bunch of really great videos. And so what this looks like is the Hedera network is built on the bottom layer, this Hashgraph consensus algorithm. And we build different services and APIs on top of the Hashgraph consensus algorithm. Our primary services and those that we're most focused on are our cryptocurrency service, which is with HBAR, our native crypto. The consensus service, which is a really great use case for data integrity, for syncing data that is siloed, or for managing private or permission blockchains. And we also have the new token service, which is the focus of the Hedera21 virtual hackathon, which allows you to easily configure, administer, and build applications with your own cryptocurrencies. It is incredibly easy to use and exposed via APIs. You can use our SDKs in Java, JavaScript, or Go, and have a token that you created. You can set the decimals and the symbols, all of the compliance and administrative features that you might need with just a few lines of code. So it's very, very exciting. And on top of these network services, people can build applications in any industry, whether it's for social causes. We have a great social good challenge in this hackathon, whether it's for gaming, for finance, for supply chains, for international remittances. You can do so many different things with our token service. Whether you're just a team of one person or you have 5 people who go around and compete at hackathons competitively, we're very excited and looking forward to seeing what people build. One important kind of concept for those new to Hedera is the notion of our main network versus our mirror network. So just at a very high level, we have the main network, which actually processes your transactions. This is when you want to create a token or transfer a token. The mainnet will come to a consensus order on those transactions with the Hashgraph consensus algorithm, and then it will process the results or execute those transactions, whatever they may be. Transactions with the mainnet will always require HBAR-based payments, and that is our fee model. It also prevents spam and Sybil and DDoS attacks. So anytime that you're interacting with our main network, you will have to pay HBAR cryptocurrency for your API calls. We have our test network, which we'll use for development. It is totally free, so don't worry too much about that. But whenever you are ready to get into production, you will be interacting with the mainnet and spending HBAR to use the network services. Conversely, or kind of on the other side of this picture here, we have what we call the mirror network. The mirror network are specific computers who maintain history of the Hedera network. And you would use this to get the sequence of transactions from a specific account. So anytime that you want to show when a token was created or a token was transferred between two parties, you would go and request that information from a mirror node with one of their APIs. And they offer different types of analytics or different types of transactional histories that you might need or will need when you're building your applications. You can also stand up your own mirror node if you're interested, if you don't want to use one of those that are available. We have wonderful partners throughout this event, including Dragonglass. So shout out to Dragonglass, who you can reach out to and get access to and use that as your mirror node throughout the event. But yeah, just kind of important to understand the high level of that transactional flow here. But we have a whole mirror node channel in Discord if anyone has questions or is like, why are you separating state management from consensus or historical management from consensus? We're always happy to have those types of conversations. And so just at a high level, kind of going back to that transition from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Hedera, we really do see Hedera as a third generation public distributed ledger. You can see here that we can do orders of magnitude of more transactions per second than Bitcoin or Ethereum. Enough that you can practically integrate them in real time into your applications. Unlike waiting for block confirmations, whether that's waiting 10, 20, 50 blocks deep, you get finality on your transactions within just a few seconds. So it's actually viable as a point of sale or checkout mechanism rather than a lot of the other cryptocurrencies that are out there that'll make you wait an arbitrary amount of time until your transaction is deep enough within the blockchain. And what's really nice about Hedera too is our fees are always pegged to fiat, they're pegged to US dollars, and and can predict those fees months or years in advance. So creating a new token is always going to cost the same amount, and transferring a token is always going to cost the same amount. We will not have a scenario like Ethereum did, where CryptoKitties by itself sent the price of the transaction on Ethereum skyrocketing to $30 or $50. So very, very practical for enterprise, consumer, or hobby applications, whatever you're building. And so let's talk a little bit about the Hedera token service specifically. The Hedera token service is a way that you can very easily issue your own tokens and cryptocurrencies on Hedera. It is very, very scalable. Just like our own cryptocurrency HBAR, you can reach 10,000 plus transactions a second, and it'll have the same time to finality of just 2 to 3 seconds. On average, I think we're average 3.5 or something. It depends on the network effects and latency, but it's super, super fast and even quicker than a lot of credit card processing. So you can say goodbye to congestion and high gas fees, as you see in our slides here. One of the things that's really nice about the token service is that it's natively on-chain with the Hedera services. You don't have to use smart contracts, so you don't have to learn how to program Solidity. You don't have to learn a whole new language, which is really, really nice. You can program it in Java, JavaScript, Go, .NET, any of the other programming languages that Hedera supports out there. And the balances of your tokens will be maintained natively on the ledger. So a Hedera account can hold, I think, 1,000 different types of Hedera tokens. I don't actually know what the limitation is there, don't quote me, but it can hold all of the tokens that you would want to need or want to hold within your actual account. So if you go check your Hedera account on something like Dragonglass, it should show you all of the tokens that you're currently holding It doesn't use a side chain. It doesn't use a layer 2. They are natively on the ledger, which is really, really nice. Because Hedera wants to address, all the potential types of use cases that are out there, whether you're just an individual developer or, one of the largest companies in the world, we built in configurable compliance, which, looks like a bunch of different things, whether that is being able to have an administrator to your token, where you can use a threshold key and can have a consortium that's managing your token, or if it's just a single company, single developer, you can change everything from, can I freeze people's tokens if I need to? Can I claw back tokens if I need to take them back? Can I issue new tokens when when is required? Can I burn tokens and delete some of them? And all of these compliance features are inherently optional. If you leave any of them blank or empty when you're creating your token, it will be completely decentralized and immutable, and there's no way that someone can freeze or claw back or create new tokens. So having this level of controlled mutability and controlled compliance is very, very exciting. Also, because these tokens are natively on the Hedera ledger, it does benefit from the entire kind of ecosystem around Hedera, and especially our enterprise governance. With Hedera's no fork guarantee, there will never be a time where you have to make a decision to support Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum Classic. You don't have to make your users aware. You don't have to reconfigure your architecture. You don't have to worry about instability within the platform, which is really, really nice. So these are some of the main reasons that I'm excited about the Hedera token service. There is a lot to it that I haven't touched on yet, but it is native, it's scalable, it's cost effective, it's easy to program, and we're really excited to see what people build. Now I'm just thinking about Matt making fun of my coffee mug in the chat. But to talk a little bit about the anatomy or what makes an HTS application, a Hedera token service application, I'm going to be using the example built by Greg Stollard. I think Greg's actually on this call, so if you have any questions about this demo app, feel free to leave comments or questions in the chat. But he has this really great demo app that walks you through everything about the token service that you would want to do. I would highly recommend you go check it out. I actually set it up this morning and it took me maybe 3 minutes, a majority of which was Docker configuring itself. So please let us know. Please check out his demo app. But you can see here that Greg's demo makes it really, really easy with this form to create a new token, whatever type of token you need. If this is issuing a new type of security or just a community or social token, or you're tokenizing yourself, this is a web-based form that's so easy. Anyone can do it. They really don't need to know anything about blockchain or what's going on under the hood. You just click a few buttons and you have your tokens created, which is really cool. So you can see that he has just text-based fields for the name, the supply, how many decimals, all those fun things that are required. And with this really easy and simple to use form, you can check all of the optional features that you would like your token to be created with. If you need an admin to create new tokens, you can check that box. If you want to be able to freeze them, you can check that box as well. But this is a really, really nice and easy to understand way to have anyone, even if they aren't completely deep in the blockchain or cryptocurrency space, can create their own tokens and ecosystems. And so within this HTS app, he has a bunch of nice screens. So you can see currently I'm configured as Alice, which is just a different account on Hedera. And you can see that he has really relevant contextual information. So he's using links to network explorers like Dragonglass or Kabuto, which are mirror nodes on Hedera that store that entire transactional history. And he's linking to that information wherever it's appropriate to allow people to have transparency into this specific application. One of the things about the token service is that new accounts have to associate with those tokens before they're able to send or receive them in their account. This is a way that if me as a Hedera account holder doesn't want to deal with the tax or the compliance reasons for different types of tokens that are out there, I can just not be associated with them and they can never get into my Hedera account. It also prevents spam and airdrops and all these types of things that could potentially harm the network. So he has this really easy way that this account can just click no or yes and become linked or associated with this token, which makes it so easy. You really don't need to understand what's going on under the hood. You just know whether or not you want to be associated with the token. And you can see over here on the right that he has these optional fields and shows to his users that these are things that might be relevant for some tokens. But in this case, because there's no freeze key, there's no KYC key, you can see that he's really making this transparent and clear to his users and exposing anything that might be relevant to them in a digestible way. And you can see how easy Greg makes it just to send tokens back and forth between two different parties. In this case, you can see that the association is set to yes. So Alice can use this demo token now. And all that it is a web-based form or any type of checkout process where you're sending tokens from to Bob from Alice, checking which token it is and how many you should send. And it's just that easy to actually transfer tokens between people as it should be. You shouldn't have to understand, the blockchain complexity or any of the things going on under the hood. At the end of the day, you just want to send tokens back and forth. And Greg's demo is really great because it does expand to some of these other optional functionalities that you see here. So in his demo, you can send multiple different types of tokens at once, which is really nicely supported within the Hedera APIs. With our SDKs, it's just a few more, like 2 or 3 more lines of code to be able to send multiple tokens to multiple accounts, all within one transaction and one fee, which is really, really cool. The token service also, not too many people know this, but also allows you to do atomic swaps or swaps between tokens, whether those are different types of HTS tokens, if you're sending demo tokens for a CryptoKitty or whatever it might be, or if you're sending HBAR for some demo tokens. These are all APIs that are natively supported within our SDKs, really, really easy to use. And so I think that this demo application shows really, really well how nice of a user experience you can provide with the token service, what different types of options a user has, whether that's when they're creating their tokens or transferring those tokens. And importantly, it exposes all of the important information for a user when they're using this application. The metadata, if it can be frozen or requires KYC, linking to the history on a mirror node to provide that transparency, just giving the user kind of transparent insights into what's going on, I think is one of the main reasons why I think that this demo is so great. It's built with Vue, the very popular web framework. So if you want to check this out or use it as the starting point for your project throughout the hackathon, I would highly recommend you go check it out. And like I said, it's just a few minutes to set up. And we did put the link in the Zoom chat, so it should be easy. All right, now to talk about the exciting part, we're going to talk a little bit about the challenges. So there is the overall primary challenge for the hackathon. This is what everyone is excited about, the first place prize and the grand prize winners. What we're looking for and who's ultimately going to win this hackathon is we're looking for applications or developer tools or protocols or anything that you want to build that use the new Hedera token service and promote active Hedera account creation and the tokenization of digital or physical assets, whether that is a piece of digital art or a physical piece of real estate or anything in between. We're really, really excited to have all these different types of tokens be able to be created easily on Hedera and drive active Hedera accounts. So accounts that'll be used, more than once or twice, things that are constantly in use and actively writing transactions to the ledger, we're really excited about. And so that is the 10,000-foot view of the hackathon. We will be giving out 4 prizes for the kind of overall challenges. As you can see, the first place prize is $25,000 in HBAR. Second place is $10,000 in HBAR. Third place is $5,000 in HBAR. And excitingly, we will have a community choice. A lot of times the judges are interested in different types of things than the community is excited about. Not that they have to be exclusive, but we will be giving away $2,000 to the best community choice prize as well. So we will have some type of survey or form or way that you can vote on what your favorite projects that you have seen are. And we have an amazing, amazing set of judges for this event. Probably one of the most exciting panel of judges I've seen at a hackathon. We have Dr. Lehman Baird, who invented the Hashgraph consensus algorithm. We have representatives from Google Cloud, PayPal, Pfizer, so many different exciting companies. And you can go check all of them out at Hedera21.com and see who's actually judging this overall prize category. Oh, thank you for correcting my typo. The first place prize is $20,000, not $25,000. Thank you for correcting that in the chat. But next, we're actually going to talk about the sponsor challenges. And it is important to note that you can compete for the grand prize challenge and the sponsor prize challenges. You can submit to as many of them as you think your project qualifies for. So you are not limited by the rewards or prizes for just one specific category. So I'm going to talk through these sponsor challenges next. And the first of which is we're very excited to be working with BitGo on the BitGo Open Source Challenge. BitGo is a leading custodian in the digital asset space, and they operate a variety of bridges and services between different ledgers. So they will be awarding the top 3 teams that have one of the following. So the best usage of BitGo's open source account library. That's ways that you can actually interact or integrate with their custodial accounts. The best contributions to their documentation. So if you go out and write a demo app or fix a bunch of typos or really make a meaningful contribution there, that would be really exciting. Everyone needs help with their documentation. Or extensions of that open source account library to specifically support the Hedera token service. So if you're like, BitGo's really exciting, love their custody model, but it doesn't support my pizza delivery coin that I just created at the hackathon, you could integrate that support into the BitGo open source library and hopefully win this challenge. So for the first place winner of the BitGo open source challenge, they'll be giving away $2,500 worth of HBAR, some BitGo swag, and a virtual lunch with the BitGo co-founder and CEO and their chief product officer. So it's a really exciting opportunity to tell them more about your business, why you're excited about BitGo, what made you choose this specific challenge, and do some networking, which is hard to do these days. The second place challenge will be, or the second place prize, I feel like these might be flipped because it says the second place prize is $5,000 worth of HBAR. I would check Hedera21.com to fact check my prizes here. You will probably get $500. Okay, that makes more sense. That's a reasonable typo that I would make. So the second place prize is $500 worth of HBAR, BitGo swag, and a virtual lunch with their co-founder and CEO and their chief product officer. So still very exciting. Apologize for the typo. The third place prize is swag again and a virtual lunch with Mike and Chen, but no HBAR prizes associated with it. So this is a really exciting challenge, especially if you want to get more into like the open source contributors world and kind of establish yourself that way. And you can submit to this challenge and a bunch of other ones. The next challenge that we're really excited about is the FTOS browser extension challenge. So the best HTS supported browser extension will receive $5,000 US worth of HBAR, as well as business and technical mentorship after the hackathon. This is really exciting because Hedera's ecosystem and all of these projects in the hackathon, everyone building different things on Hedera, really need some core building blocks for what they're doing. And I think one of the best examples of those building blocks are things like MetaMask or identity and access management for decentralized applications. You can even think back to, for those who have been around in our community for a while, the original daily timestamp demo that we put out to demonstrate micropayments on Hedera and how that user experience could be integrated within a bunch of applications. So if you're looking at the projects, you're like, I'm going to build a web application that issues new tokens. Maybe you also want to look at building a browser extension to manage your users' keys and integrate that within your website, and you can double dip into challenges that way. But we're really excited to have FPOS sponsoring this challenge, as well as hopefully getting some really nice browser extensions developed throughout this event. The next challenge that we have is enhancing tokenization functionality. This is sponsored by BCW and DLA Piper. It is really focused on how real-world assets can leverage HTS and do creative features that weren't really possible before for either individuals or for their clients' future businesses. DLA Piper notably has their own Toko security token platform that is built on Hedera. And so it's very exciting to see them encouraging people to kind of build out this world of digitizing real world assets. If you have any questions about this challenge or any of the other challenges, it is also worth mentioning that they have channels in our Discord chat where you can go and ask their mentors and their team directly what they're looking for, for feedback on your project, especially while you're coming up with ideas. I would highly encourage you to join Discord and talk to these teams and get their insights before you, put a flag in the ground and start building. And so the best enhancing tokenization project, specifically with real world assets, will receive $5,000 worth of HBAR, as well as the opportunity to join a development team building an enterprise token service use case. So there's a clear job offer. That's really, really exciting. The next challenge that we have is from Google Cloud, and it is about reimagining our financial services industry, which is really, really ambitious and very excited. Couldn't be more thrilled to have Google Cloud involved. And they are looking for the best project that demonstrates any type of financial services scenario, leveraging the token service, and a broad range of existing Google Cloud products or solutions. So whether you're just integrating Hedera and using something like Firebase to manage your database and sign in, or if you're using like App Engine or any of their types of Google Cloud tools to power your Hedera token service application, it's a really, really nice way to leverage their infrastructure and the infrastructure of Hedera almost without managing or running your own servers at all, which is really, really exciting. And, to talk a little bit more about financial service scenarios, this could be anything that you could imagine, whether it's taking out loans or getting advances on your paycheck or doing lending or staking or collateralization or providing liquidity. I really think that this is, intentionally open to interpretation. And so we're really excited to see what types of financial service scenarios people end up building on Hedera and Google Cloud. The winning team of Google Cloud's challenge will receive $5,000 worth of HBAR. I also think that there is some prize associated with Google Cloud credits, where you'll also get Google Cloud credits, but we will update Hedera21.com with any changes to the prizes or any additional prizes that we might give away. We also have the Social Good Challenge, which is sponsored by the Chopra Foundation. This is just, categorically any project that demonstrates a practical implementation of a token for social good. Whether you have a token that's specifically for fundraising for charities or donation marketplaces, there's so many different types of ways that you can create tokens that'll actually help people and do some good for the community and for society. So very excited to have the support from the Chopra Foundation for this one. They will receive $5,000 worth of HBAR, a private Q&A session with Deepak Chopra, which is really, really exciting and unique. I don't think I've ever seen that from another hackathon, so very, very happy that we have that as a prize here. And you'll also get support and endorsement of your application by the Chopra Foundation. And the Chopra Foundation is building their own token and application on Hedera called Love in Action. So there's some really nice synergies there as well. And again, you can submit to multiple challenges. So if you want to build a browser extension that facilitates micropayments for charities, there's a grand prize for you already. Well, not actually a grand prize, but a good idea. One of the other challenges that we're excited about from another council member actually is the University College of London. They're looking for the best tokenization protocol, which enables asset agnostic tokens to be created, customized, and standardized, accommodating non-standard physical and digital assets. So, you know, when Greg's demo walkthrough, we were talking about how easy Greg's demo makes it to create different types of tokens. UCL really wants to see ways that you can create and customize tokens for both physical and non-physical assets, whether it's IP or tokenizing fine art like DLA Piper has done. This is a really, really exciting challenge. And I'm really looking forward to ways that people can create, you know, a generalized protocol that can create any type of tokens and bridge those digital and physical worlds together. It's a very exciting challenge. The prizes for this one are also very interesting. So they have 5,000 worth of HBAR, but you also get a lifetime membership to UCL's Center for Blockchain Technology program, which has a variety of webinars, mentorship, all these different types of things. It's a very exciting program. You also will get their support and help further development of your application. UCL is a leading research institution that has a variety of good economists, developers, designers, all these different types of resources looking at blockchain, which is a great resource to have. They'll also help you, give you the opportunity to present your idea at premier blockchain conferences. So they will help you get approved as a speaker and formalize your talk and all those types of fun things. And they also are offering introductions to venture capital firms to fund the venture via their UCL Capital Partners program. So this is not just for projects right now. They really want to help you support your project in the future and make sure that you're successful creating tokens on Hedera. I think this is the last challenge that we have from our sponsors here, which is the Wrap Token and Interoperability Challenge from Armanino. Armanino is one of our biggest partners in terms of operating infrastructure. They run their own mirror node, which is great, especially from an accounting and compliance firm. And they're very excited about ways that you can create value across different networks and have this kind of interoperable world between different blockchains and layer ones. So in this case, they're looking for the best token service implementation that can take and port assets from other public chains across and bring them to Hedera, or bring assets from Hedera to other chains, such as wrapped Ethereum or wrapped Bitcoin. There's a variety of reasons that you would want to take assets from other chains and put them onto Hedera's token service so that you can have micropayments with Bitcoin and, you know, fulfill the dream of the Lightning Network, except practically on Ledger. Or you can scale up the ability for wrapped ETH to be used as collateral by bringing it to Hedera. So there's so many different things that you can do with wrapped tokens and interoperability, but really, really excited to see what comes out of this one, especially with, you know, things like wrapped Bitcoin micropayments, where you can still hold your exposure to Bitcoin, but actually use them in a practical context. I know Armanino and their team are very involved in this space, and so if you have any questions, I would recommend talking to them on Discord as well. The winning team will receive $3,000 in gift cards and a variety of other prizes. Maybe they can give you some Armanino swag as well. So this is the recap of all of the challenges that are available throughout this hackathon. Again, you can submit your project to multiple challenges. Unfortunately, you cannot submit multiple projects within the hackathon. just to be clear there, you can go for all of them or just one. That's up to you. But if you have questions about any of the challenges, please ask them in Discord. And so finally, for next steps, for those of you who don't have a team, we would highly recommend you check out the participant tab within the dev post link. From there, you can filter and find people who have signed up but are still looking for teammates. They check off what their skills are. So maybe if you're a front-end developer, you're going to look for a back-end person. Or if you're a designer, maybe you're just looking for anyone out there who's looking for a designer. If you're on the business or marketing side of things, maybe you can find teams that don't have anyone with business development skills yet. And you can reach out to them directly within DevPost. So that is our main suggestion, and one of your takeaways here is the hackathon has officially begun, and now is the time to make sure that you have your team and you're all on the same page with who can do what and what skills are we missing and what other people do we need to bring into the event. There's also a team formation room in our Discord. You should definitely sign up for Discord. From there, you can talk about, your background, maybe even link to your dev post profile if there's anything interesting there, or your GitHub account. And you can pitch people on your ideas and try to get them on your team or try to get you joining their team. So we highly recommend looking through the participants tab and joining Discord to reach out to team members. If you have any problems finding a team, feel free to reach out to myself or another member of the Hedera mentorship team directly. And we're happy to try to point you in the right direction or make suggestions or do some matchmaking there as well. So one of your key takeaways from this webinar is to make sure that you have a team and or are looking for a team. And just to leave people with some resources here for next steps or where to go if they're not already onboarded to Hedera. You can create your testnet account for free at portal.hedera.com. It takes just a few minutes and you'll be set up with your public and private keys and your account ID. To view our SDKs and demo applications and learn more, I would highly recommend checking out docs.hedera.com. That is where you can find all of our API specs and the latest ways to use the token service. We have a variety of demo applications and we're constantly working on more, so I would expect to see a few more of those rolling out soon. But especially the one that I walked through that Greg had built, the token service demo, is available on our GitHub at github.com/hashgraph. Discord is going to be kind of our primary and real-time comms for this event. So be sure to join hedera.com/discord. We have a whole section in there dedicated to the hackathon, from just general conversations to rooms for team formation. Each of the sponsor challenges get their own rooms as well. So please be involved there. For the official hackathon resources or anything that you need to know about the event, your kind of source of truth is always going to be hedera21.devpost.com. From there, you can find the official resources, our webinar schedule, the challenges, judging criteria, all that fun stuff will always be most up to date on hedera21.devpost.com. And you should hopefully plan on attending our variety of webinars that we have throughout this event. The next one will be this Thursday. This will be from the sponsors themselves talking about their challenges and what they're looking for. It is a great opportunity to ask them or try to get their feedback on ideas and make sure what you're building is aligned with what they want to see. And we do have a variety of other webinars coming up, but the next one that you should hopefully attend will be this Thursday. So with that is everything that I had to talk about for the welcome webinar today. I couldn't be more excited to kick off the Hedera21 virtual hackathon. So many great judges, so many great sponsors and partners, and we're really excited to see what future you build on Hedera.